food scarcity and starvation have plagued Africa for decades. Funded by the Gates and Rockefeller Foundations, the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, known as AGRA, was established in 2006.
We had populations increasing, we had cities urbanizing at an extremely fast rate. So the aim of the revolution was that, to kind of secure food for people and populations in the developed world.
The organization focused on 11 countries and divided them into 3 agroecologies. AGRA ambitiously pledged to double the yields and incomes of 30 million smallholder farmers in these countries by the end of 2021.
So the most important innovation that was developed for the Green Revolution was the high-yielding crop varieties of wheat and rice. And those specifically were seeds genetically engineered to have higher yields and to be kind of sustainable against weather extremities and season changes, so you could effectively grow these crops for longer periods of time and produce more output. In South Africa, for example, we do use quite a lot of GMO seeds.
The country is renowned for its well-established commercial agricultural sector. With great access to local and international markets, farmers are able to afford the necessary seasonable inputs. However, the proposed cycle to prosperity for smallholder farmers on AGRA's list was fraught with challenges. In his report, False Promises, researcher Timothy Wise at Tufts University in the USA suggests that there is little sustainable change to show for the $1 billion spent on the project. He points out that AGRA had deprioritized the cultivation of traditional crops such as millet, sorghum, and cassava in favor of high-yielding GMO seed crops.
So although people have access to more food and food is cheaper, the quality of food is problematic, which then means a change in diet and would actually possibly cause malnutrition and non-communicable diseases like diabetes.
The productivity of GMO seeds is intrinsically linked to monoculture practices. It requires intensive use of artificial fertilizers and pesticides. Finding viable markets for their produce to offset high input costs remains a major challenge for the majority of these farmers.
Yes, GMO seeds are revolutionary and can, produce higher amounts of yields, but is it relevant for these communities which are much smaller and produce at a smaller scale and need a more sustainable way of producing crops? And these sustainable methods need to work with nature and the environment.
The persistent use of chemical fertilizers results in vast areas of barren land as fundamentally poor farmers cannot afford to maintain their greatest asset, the soil. Ironically, the Green Revolution package of GMO seeds and fertilizers are heavily subsidized by governments in all AGRA countries.
The ultimate benefactors of the Green Revolution have been the corporations who produce these seeds, and particularly oil companies which are closely linked to the production of pesticides and fertilizers. And in fact, the seeds that these companies genetically modified are usually sourced on the continent. So we have a kind of extraction of knowledge and resources from the continent to produce these GMO seeds, which are then patented, and the only benefactors are these companies who produce these seeds.
Africa is yet to find a sustainable model to curb starvation on the continent. Data from the United Nations calculates the number of severely hungry people in sub-Saharan Africa to have increased by 50% since AGRA was founded almost 2 decades ago.